more or less republish the games for the Switch. And I mean like all of them. Every single one. Yeah, I like this series. I think I even own... do I? Yeah, I think I own Apollo Justice. I think. I haven't played it though. I have it for the DS. I have to buy a new battery someday. Like the battery for my DS is absolutely shit. But also I completely forgot. How are you today, Drana? I completely forgot that because it took me a bit off guard first. I hope you have a good evening or good day or a good morning. Who knows? I have no idea what time it is there. Wait, where are we? There we are. Okay, so this was a few weeks ago I played this. What happened? Can we check history? Graydon. Oh, Graydon. Graydon was the that guy. Okay, I think I'm starting to get where we are right now. So we managed to figure out that this music box can have this disc. But even though it's not music, it more or less makes dots. But that doesn't make any Morse code. It needs dots and dashes. We already have 2 experts in here. One's against us and one helping us. Oh, what's happening, Grana? Why is the week gonna be pain? Oof, that sounds horrific, to be honest. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Jeez, that made me gotta think about that as well, because before I moved here for studies, there was a discussion about them checking my wisdom teeth. But because I moved, there wasn't much more of that, so now you got me thinking. Oh, but yeah, I can... Yeah, that's horrible. Do take care. Do absolutely take care. Have a... Get your... Do rest your mouth. Oof. But yeah, so we learned something about this as well, as I just was about to say. This can have 2 discs with dashes as well, so we're trying to figure out now what's going on. But yeah, good luck with that. I hope it goes over soon. Voices. Oh god. Yeah, so if you don't know about this, I'm doing voices for this game. Let's see if I can go back to this. Oh dear! It looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno. I will retreat. Wait, I will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. This is no, I am pressing him for information, I think. Hold it! I completely forgot about me doing voices. I don't know why I do that. It's like, I remember what game, I remember the voices, I go to stream, and then it's like, oh, right, this thing. I do love doing voices for this, but sometimes my throat is like killing me afterwards. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter for some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? Well, how indeed? There must have been somebody else involved behind the scene on all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason. In order to take it to the meeting with Ms. McGilded and negotiate a deal. So this is the guy who I believe has done it, but he's a bit of an ass, so he's never really gonna explain why. What is that though? Oh, Charity 2018. I'm just checking that little snowflake thing. I haven't seen that before. I'm kinda glad for this. I have like stream elements on, which allows me to see the chat and activity on my OBS. And I can actually zoom in on like icons and emotes, which is absolutely great because then I can see them closer. You may have it in it for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that. And dances a lot as well. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communication officer. He's very fancy looking for a communications officer. Also, he has more or less tried to look small, like he is working in communication, but not that big. He has nothing to do with secret government information or the military. But we have another lady by the jury that literally just says that that guy is an idol and deals with all the big shot things. Like, okay. You're literally just being pointed out to be someone that can go somewhere. Or more or less everywhere. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. I'm gonna be done. Okay, let's press this. Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me, though. It was just popping over for a Nather after all them years. But the rather had a dodgy job for us. Eh? Ash? Ash? What do you mean by Ash? Wait, hold on, I'm gonna check something. Is his name? I completely forgot what his name is. Oh, it is Ash. Ashley Graydon. Or Egbert Benedict. He literally gave us a false name one day. Or one time, the first time we met him. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're a sociable kind of baddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China. Okay, and what are you thinking about? Is something wrong, Mrs. Skulkin? Please, could you at least use their first name, because both of them are called Mrs. Skulkin, and it's gonna be hell of fucking difficult. For example, this guy reacts. No, the other Mrs. Skulkin. What? Ooh, May. When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugher together way back when. Together? With Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now, his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't believe it. The fuck did you— what did you just say? Okay, their way of speaking is like above me. But when we was younger, it was from the poor part of town, just like us. Okay, is that so? But it was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with the smart ideas, like would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a cocker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. Neither does your fruit. Are not allowed to have fruit in here? Well, that's bullshit. Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't they? What? And we was one answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. No, I was about to say other than shooting a man, but I believe they didn't shoot someone. Or they did shoot. No, they shot Sholmes. He shot the shopkeeper, the shop owner, and the girl that was hiding with the shopkeeper shot Graydon. We have still not been allowed to see his arm though, because he is pretending not to do anything about that, I think. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? Add it to testimony. It's always good to have there. Yes, Counsel. The brothers' last sentimental statement could hold a vital information relating to this case. Very well, Counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony. With that detail, briefly, I hasten to add. Milverton and Skulkins. Milverton. That's strange, though. That's not his name. Hold it! What do you mean by that? I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. Bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to locals. What it was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. Yeah, a bit. The way they speak is like they did some things. Like, what is going on? The business name. So the business was just a bit of fun, you say? It was yourself and Mr. Graydon involved. Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Oh yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Alright, I thought Clever Claw, like you would have worked that out for now. That is... Yeah, he's stopping them. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen? Oh, Jesus. To be clear, this game sometimes have those places where it cuts me off. And it's so hella annoying because I'm in the middle of doing the voice. Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. It's not up to you, mate. They're not even talking about you. They're talking about their milk run. And another name. But apparently, it doesn't like that another name being mentioned. Tell me, why is that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... And weren't they happy as omens that one came from? Yeah. His old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. He took the name Graydon then, see? But that result would be Milverton to us. Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all Buncombe. But Buncombe. I've been a Graydon since I was born. You really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, hmm? You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It will be very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Yeah, so why is he hiding it? He's a communications officer, which means that in this time and era, they just more or less started using Morse code to talk to other countries. And sometimes even like secret information. If it's something like that, they more or less have to have a sort of background check. So why hide the name if it's literally just something they gave him? More or less he gave them, I mean. That's kind of silly. Also, I completely forgot to do something here. There are stream labels. Just gonna announce to my Discord server that I am live. I kind of forget to do that. I know there are some Discord servers that have stuff like that, like automatic. I unfortunately don't. And I very often forget to do stuff like that. There we go. And just gonna announce it. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Why is that so painful for you? Very well. Yes. So Ashley Graydon was on Ashley Milverton. Do we have anything with Milverton? Hold on. This is gonna be interesting because that's like something we learned now, but does that mean anything? Post-shooting photograph. Photograph of Gina. Photograph gun. Crime scene photograph. Autopsy report. Today's paper. So he is that. That was secret information. That's no problem. McGilded case notes. Schedule omnibus. Ah! Thank you, Miss Miko Tobak. Susato. Because this is her book. She need apparently go back to Japan in the game. And she gave us this book full of the summary of Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago. Which is where the disc come in into picture. And the victim was a Mr. Mason Milverton. That is why. Because he literally doesn't want to be even thought of being that person, like being connected to that person. Yeah, that could change this. I already changed things. There we go. All of a sudden, we seem to have to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although, all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the breaking at the Windybanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded. No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker, who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. There already is. We already found the link. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I already know. There we go. Besides the soundproof music box or even Morse code. Ah, there we go. Present. Can we present his own? I don't know if I can. I'm gonna do this. Objection. Yeah, because his name isn't there, the brickmaker. Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Yeah, he's getting worried here now. Love it. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with his Mr. McGilded. Ah, yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I don't. As I believe I have mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it to Mr. McGilden in collaboration with your father. Well, that was a twirl. That guy really loves to twirl. He literally just twirled away from the police once time. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth? You say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in an illegal dealings with Mr. Magnus McGilded. By dint of this music box, you may counsel. Yes, steal information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to Mr. McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with Mr. McGillard went south, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, Mr. McGillard managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at a pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windybanks 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles Mr. McGillard had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that a second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never knew nothing about that. It wouldn't surprise me because... Oh, hi, tall girl. Welcome to stream. Oh, shit, sorry. Welcome to the stream. We managed to figure out the connection between Mr. Twirly and the whole case. Yeah, apparently his name is Graydon, but it used to be Milverton, which is the same as the brickmason from 2 months ago. But yeah, welcome to the stream. I do hope you enjoy your stay here. Yeah, so when we checked the photos, we realized nothing was stolen, but the music box had changed position. I'm fine. I believe I must have had a cold for a few days because I've been like out of nothing for a few days here. I managed to like clean my room. I say room, it's technically my apartment. My apartment is just one room. Pretty well. But I still have some stuff still here, but I don't complain as much as I used to. So I'm fine. I am doing some schoolwork, checking on my stream teammates, and just playing around now and then. It's really fun to be back streaming again. I think I've managed to find a few games I can do. I'm watching this on my TV and I very realize this is a bad idea. What do you mean by all the voices? Or other stuff that might just occur? As I rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from a security camera indeed. The question that naturally begins answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? Because they never stole it, but they took the second disc. There's supposed to be 2 discs in that one, but they took one of them. The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Yeah, most of the time I do have some stuff on my television. It's not often I have streams on television, but I have like YouTube and stuff. I more or less just have it in a good volume, if we say so. Well, Mr. Graydon, Do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? Apparently the mason was actually his father. I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. How about you? Because he has more or less just been kind of helpful right now. Oh, the typing. Yeah, I understand now. The typing is a pain when having it on television. I absolutely understand that. I do understand that part. That's often I don't really write a lot whenever I watch someone stream. There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. Is there? Oh, shit, there is! Because it actually was the third person shot. Brilliant. Also, I'm just gonna check something. I don't even think there is. So I don't think you've seen that on my Discord, right? Because I did it on my Discord. On the public square. I literally just wrote, "I can't believe I went and did it." Can you, just for fun, guess what? Because it's actually something I never believed I would have ever done. I don't take it too serious, but I mostly just did it for a giggle, to be honest. Because it's kind of something weird I did. From my point of perspective, it's weird because I am not... Yeah. So I retweeted something a few days ago about HoloLive. More or less hiring more VTubers. I'm gonna just see if I can find it here, just to be quick. Just like be able to do more precise. Yeah, auditions. Auditions for HoloLive is open. Yeah, I can absolutely understand that. So, I, for just giggles, actually entered the bloody audition. Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. The funny part is, it's not like something I expect to enter. It's nothing I expect to go good or bad or anything. I did it for giggles. But somehow I still did it seriously. I'm not joking, because one of the things you had to do was to do a video or a just sound video with no video at all in character presentation. I was a bit like, still had a bit of a cold that day and like felt that in the throat, and I don't know really what I was doing. But let's easily say I did 12 takes on my own fucking presentation. Oh yeah. I literally just saw that when I went into Chrome and like, oh, here for everyone that likes this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, oh, they have auditions. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go and try and just join in the audition. I don't know why I did it. I just felt like it could be fun to try, but as I said, like, I stream like this. I have never had plans to become a VTuber ever. If that works, it works. I have no idea what I will be doing, but yeah. Oh yeah, that would be something. I'm kind of like uncertain still about what the hell would be happening. Because I have just like thought that through, and like, if I join HoloLive, what's gonna happen with the rest of the team? Like, is it still easy for me to just interact with them, or is it gonna be more difficult? So, like, that's the biggest worry of mine, if I actually get picked. No, I don't think actually you needed to make an avatar. Hold on, I'm just gonna click on audition again here. I'm gonna read some stuff. So, yeah, exclusive character provided, and equipment rental and purchase support. So, like, you more or less get help with everything that can make you a VTuber, more or less. Or at least physical things. I don't know about like teachings and stuff. I have no idea about that, but they literally will provide a exclusive character. I do hope I more or less have any choice of what the hell that person will be look like, because the only more or less description I had for them is I am a lord. I am a person that decided to build something of my own, and it became a small kingdom in a rather desolate, cold place. So I have no idea how it will be. Also, there was a bit of discussion with that when I talked with Dariel and Yoko Pokomo about, like, is there even any male Hololive people? And when I checked the picture, yes, there is. I can see a load of them. I have seen some from other VTubers' reactions and stuff, but I never knew they were actually Hololive. Yeah, a real Swedish lord. It's so strange also, like, a southern cold place. Like, often when you speak about the south, you speak about a very warm and nice place. But hell no, apparently I am a lord of a cold southern place. How that now works. One struck the punch around Mr. Sholm's waist. Yeah, so you didn't get shot, but the vial exploded by his waist. Ugh, Jesus. Yeah, so something struck this, but it wasn't Mr. Sholm's bullet, the one that hit him, which means this must be the bullet that hit Mr. Graydon. Oh, good God. I do wonder how Gani will react on this, because I know that you two have some type just like nudged about doing something like this, but I know like he will absolutely be into this to a 200%er. Not even joking. Also, I do wonder, is every Hololive on YouTube, or are some of them on Twitch? Because most of the people I watch from Hololive is on YouTube. Yeah, he'd absolutely love it. I don't even know if he knows anything about it yet. I think I just retweeted it, and I don't think he even, like, did he do some reaction to that on Twitter? Hold on. Most of the times it's like, most of the people here, they like just, yeah, he liked my retweet. I just don't know if he actually understood why I retweeted that. Oh, bugger. Well, we have to just see how that works. Like, I don't even expect anything. I did it just for funsies. If I ever would decide to become a VTuber, which I would not say I highly doubt, but it's nothing that is planned, nor will probably be planned in like a close future. But if it would be, I have a load of VTuber friends who can more or less help me with that, to be honest. The wound on your arm that seemed to be trying to hide is a bullet wound, isn't it? So if you just get the color of that wound, or the blood of that, then we know who that guy is. I've got you now, then, my old chana. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. I do love those two, because they more or less... I don't know if they understand what the hell is going on here. I don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust someone to come on back slum thieves. Oh! He literally just told us that he paid them. Fine, I admit. I was there in Windy Banks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you have noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. Jesus. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets. Negotiating with Mr. McGilded. I'm impressed he can still do that with his goddamn arm, like, shot. To be honest. As God is my witness, I recall nothing of the sort. It's not going down without a fight. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is? Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulking Brothers' gun hit a pouch around Mr. Sean's waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windybank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught on Mr. Graydon on the arm. Yeah, where's the third gun? Indeed, we must rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Even though he's a kick. He more or less just clearly wanted to do that many occasions. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windybank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder. Goodness! That's right, Mr. Graydon. That's kind of fun, because we are more or less going into the whole political matter and stuff. But the main part is still someone got murdered and got shot by someone. We have already ruled out there had to be a third gun. So if it still is like you getting the worst sentence ever by murder or something, then like it doesn't matter if it is like secrets and stuff being sold. It's still like either highest punishment or highest punishment. It doesn't matter if he says I didn't do that part, because we're still more or less going on to him with the other part. So it's not really like he's going out of this. Yeah, he's about to lose it, this is. Oh yeah, he's losing it. You little upstart. You made me a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I had built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross my mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What possibility? Yeah, I was wondering. The possibility that I was there at the scene. I may have witnessed a crucial moment. You see. This makes me a key witness in this case. And I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. Bullshit! Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw very moment that the pickpocket girl pointed a gun at a poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. The funny part is, like, why would she shoot him in the middle of all that bloody chaos? He is shot, Sholmes is shot, and she shot the pawnbroker. Yeah, sure, like, there's like so much shit that doesn't go straight through there. Well, it would have seemed we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Gray. Yes, I trust you're fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. Yeah, that's why he's trying so hard right now to actually just fight alongside right now. Because if he's going down, he's going to at least try to take someone down with him. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. I feel like every pain to other people would be your pleasure, to be honest. While these ruffians were jousting with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When the Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shot himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused in black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Huh? She had the gun in her hand. What? Mate, what the fuck are you talking about? What is he talking about? What is this delusional person talking about? You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Because that would mean there is another gun inside that has been shot that she kept. It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. You see, my hands has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. Yeah, to be honest, even lying sometimes you do in self-preservation, so... yeah, the truth. Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was covered in blood. You say the blood splattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All of the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? If her coat would have somehow shown to harbor vestiges of blood, there would be conclusive evidence here. We have that, but we also have the information of where the blood is supposed to come from. So it has blood, but from like 2 months ago. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? If he's gonna talk about the whole showing the color of the blood thing, then I want to kick this guy in the ass, because he is the only person who has said that has no significant science in all this. Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's the true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray in the world of chemistry. Screw you.
There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all around sound.
Ideas are no use here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. Also, I realized I haven't actually tweeted that I'm live. I just realized that. I don't know what's with me today. I have no idea whether I like just flew out of my mind. I think I've not done this for some time now, that I just like poof. I'm just gonna make a quick thing here. Here we go. Because I completely utterly forgot about that. I don't know why it's like just came to be now. Oh, okay. Do you mean late then? Because it often is late sometimes. I just realized, because when she talked about that, I just realized I had that little animation or gif that I made when the wife was more or less punching with the husband's hands. But I just realized, like, I didn't send anything like that out today. I'm like, oh shit, right, I actually didn't tweet that I'm live. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Well, I thought you'd be streaming for a long time if you waiting till next year. I'm trying to get more or less where we got with that, but probably because I completely forgot to tweet or something like that. I have no idea really. The notifications sometimes are absolutely weird. We should shatter all the vestiges of doubt within minutes.
This doesn't look good, Runa.
Why not?
Well, we know, don't we? There's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat.
It is fine, never mind. As long as the notifications comes around, it goes around. It's all fine. It's all fine and dandy. Yeah, but we checked this, and it actually has the blood of his father all over the goddamn coat also. That's not the Winterbank's blood, that's the stain from 2 months ago. Yeah, but people doesn't believe us because it is too colorful. My lord, the defense object to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Six, make it so at once. Oh, good god, this guy. He and his fancy things. He also have fancy things, but he doesn't like our fancy things because it's not his fancy things. And while we await the result, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. So we are gonna more or less get closer to we're gonna lose until we're gonna win again. The council! Yeah, we're gonna stare him down right now. Of course, my lord. Okay, I'm just gonna check something in the court record. The gun. It's the window bag that Gina was holding when she found us conscious. There we go. Yeah, I don't like that guy sometimes. I like him as a character in the game, but I've said it before. He's like his logic and ruling out some stuff is so annoying because he just believes his own work and nothing else. It was only one time he actually got like shut down by the judge while they wanted to more or less object something we had to do. I'm gonna save here as well because I might as well try and use the gun on this. I saw the blood spatter over the wretched girl. Accused in black shot the man. No, wait a second. Yeah, then she tossed the gun. So I'm gonna present this because she never tossed the gun. There. And that's why I saved, because for me that was unlogical. So that's not logical at all for me. It doesn't make sense, that part. I'm gonna press this part. Technically I should press everything from the start. But like I'm annoyed by him saying she tossed it out there. Yeah, she threw the gun out of the room. Well, that's right. After the broke fell onto the floor, she started walking over. Over where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door. To where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. But why on earth would she do such a thing? I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Like, we already know she had it in her hands. Is this guy stupid or something, or what is his plan? Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. please. I hope you get this, understand what is wrong with this sentence. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Yes, it was true. It was yours truly. I left to clear up to my lackeys and left. Clear up? I made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle flew there to also tidy up. He thinks there is some blooming mum or something. Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Apparently 5 guineas, which I don't really know how much that is. I think I searched it up someday, but I kind of forgot as please. Was it by any chance the second disc in your pocket?
You little toe rag!
Wait, what the fuck is happening here? What is happening here? Why is Yara trying to kill one of the witnesses? I didn't know what was happening. I thought the guy reacted to something, and I just saw the other one just strangling one of them. I probably just hold around the neck, but still. I don't even know what that even means, but yeah, I think it did. Something wrong, sunshine. That would be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mrs. Culkin. Blimey! This is a bit of an hooligan, ain't he? What's going on just now? Is me grab me whistle? Why the blazes, didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down to station? Why didn't you? Cause we didn't know nothing about it. We're not flaming people in the door. Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you? Also just his feeling, I guess. Or blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, he's gonna kill me. Sorry, I completely managed to press the button there, so I just had to improvise. That was strange. Inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone. No, that wasn't like Grexy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him. Yeah, well, you. Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris. Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character. I am not really feeling at all right now. Yeah, I have to find some way of breaking this guy. Yeah, they are gonna discover it. Because that's the problem. That's also like Mr. McGilded's coat. And like, even if I believe that even if we say it's actually the Mason's blood, they're not gonna believe that because blood is blood. It is because he's an asshole. That's why. Yeah, there is some inconsistency somewhere, but I don't like just throw it out of the people. There was nothing about that sword. She still had the gun.
Hold it!
So that's what I'm like getting all annoyed by, because we know she had a gun. So why would she throw a gun out of the people, and why would he just take it? Mr. Windbag emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Ringo and Nash here was scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had a revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. And I've been so scared in my life. Yeah, we're just your regular milkman and burglars, that's all. We know nothing like violence. Says the pair who carry a gun. And used it as well. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items. And why did you do that, may I ask? Looking for the music box, of course. We already know it's been tampered with. The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1. So I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help my little brother, but a ghoul geezer chucked me over the blooming counter. So pull a gun on, old fella. That's who my name is Carper. The pair of you setting up on the poor defenseless pawnbroker together. Shame on you. Shame on both of you. Sorry, gal. When Mr. Wing, yeah.
Hold it!
Where is the third gun then? You mean at the moment you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot. And the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you. Oh. So it would appear. When I look at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windybank intend to shoot you, do you think? Well now, I don't imagine he never noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, I didn't quite strike home. I pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scrappered through the door out back. At which point, what did you do?
Hold it!
You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. And what about these people in the door you mentioned? Well, surprisingly, the storeroom door. Oh shit, sorry. It's a solid job made of stout wood. But there's a people there. Not the most brilliant idea if you're actually gonna try and be safe. But there's a small opening in about a head height that lets you see what's in there from the outside. Yeah, I know about that. Yep. Yep. And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went through these people as well? Unlikely, Gov. I see nothing of the sort, Gov. I doubt these 2 buffoons were even aware of the people's existence. The Skulking brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windybank take place. Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there. The defendant. Yes, though neither of them noticed what I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed straight at the man. And then, what did you see next? Everything of this is just bullshit, and I know that. Mostly because this is a game and I do know that. But it is bullshit because there are so many consistencies that doesn't even make sense, even though I have no way of proving it yet. Yes, when the victim was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windybank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we clearly established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. But no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocketed girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windybank's gun grazed my arm. And yes, the skulking gun ground the detective. But this was another gun entirely. A third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon. So clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Protection.
That doesn't make sense because she gripped a gun, which still made her like as a suspect. And now they're saying she had a second gun that she threw away not to become a suspect, and grab a second gun to become a suspect. But like, what the fuck? But no other gun was found at the scene. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry. You must consider the events in order. This guy really thinks he's smart, doesn't he? At first, I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other. But then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was that moment that little girl, little gutter rat, shot him in the back. A chilling image, I must say. Sorry, sometimes when I just see something, it's like I forget the feeling like I see something. Can I actually do this? Hold on. Can I do this? Oh fuck, I can have it here. Hold on. I'm gonna have my chat there. So I can actually see the chat now. I actually detach my chat and have it here. Can I actually do a... I'm gonna see what I can have here for something. No. Size. Nah, that's not what I want. No, no, no. No, no. What's that? Better TV section. I should not deal with this right now. There we go. I can at least see chat, so I don't need to be confused about it being there. But I still can see everything. I might just make it a bit smaller because it's actually rather big. Hold on. Ow, piss, it disappeared. Fuck. I clicked outside of it, which made it... Oh god! There we go. There we go.
Hold it.
All over her. Yes, through the people, I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now. What with the coat being such a dark color. But I assure you... Oh, that garment was sullied with the victim's blood. I actually still see who's here. Drana used to be here. I don't know if Drana is still here. It was nice having Drana here. At the time I couldn't do this because no one was here, but I'm gonna do this and see if I can do this. There we go, because Drana Cthulhu is actually a team member of mine in the Moonlit Yakuza. So they came over here and just said hi, and apparently are not going to have a great week because they pulled their wisdom teeth yesterday. I haven't done that yet, but I can more or less imagine how that will feel. Yikes. Well, it's filled with blood, that's for sure.
It's not Mr. Wingdybag's blood, is it?
Oh, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago. It's so annoying.
It's so annoying. If they only accepted Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that. We're a bunch of poopy heads.
I just had to say something that more or less just fit her. But they won't, so unfortunately we can't use it as an evidence to support our case. Also, I do love the name Drana Cthulhu. It's absolutely amazing. Cute Cthulhu. Oh, apparently we have everything. My lord! Requesting your lordship permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. Oh, I cannot see that. Hold on, I'm gonna change the chat to the other side because there was some stuff apparently appearing there. I have the result of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood on the accused overcoat and not in my wine bottle. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objections, counsel. No, my lord. I would like to more or less have it my little window. Like, I don't know, see-through, but unfortunately I cannot do that. Well, here you have it. The report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. And as you see, now it is on my right side. God damn it. I have to, like, do that sometimes when I don't see what it is over there. And from the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of a spluttering, followed by a gunshot wound. End of report. Yeah, but that's bullshit, mate. That's from a stabbing wound. I don't want to shit on Germany, but because of the whole thing of this game, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about right now. See? What did I tell you?
Objection.
No, the blood on that coat is not Mr. Windybank's. What on earth makes you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybanks, Mr. McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case. Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Shut up. I don't know what to say to him because it's so fucking annoying sometimes. Literally, like, yeah, it might be the case, but he's dead now. We cannot ask him, like, goodness sake, are you dancing with his grave or something? 2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for Mr. McGilded's innocence? And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. You conduct shatters and any shred of respect you may have earned from yourself in this country. I don't give a shit about that as long as Gina goes safe. I call it a value disgrace. Treachery, that is what it is.
How to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope wouldn't held down so that problem pop out. It can't be done.
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such a faith in chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communicate officer?
I held out Piroski to the starving boy, and he ran away crying. Okay. Hulk Sholmes is a barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all, neither do you, to be honest. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused coat was splattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon would possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who had shot the victim in the case. That is the whole truth. Nah, that's bullshit. Nope. Who is... It's been a long battle, this one. But this old war horse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman. They're all gonna fucking rule her out, isn't they?
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Jesus, when he says guilty, bloody hell. Well, it will appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury has reached an unanimous verdict. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the juror's decision, being equally successful. Yeah, give me that glass of wine, because holy shit, I've already done it so many times and you still don't trust me apparently. That's actually I just kind of think of that now. I'm pretty certain that we have managed to get the jury to not guilty sometime. Or have we done that? Have they actually gone free when not guilty has been verdicted for them? I don't remember that, because if so, it's kind of equal. But if not so, then I get the feeling that the goddamn prosecution has more or less a like easier part of this whole like game. Sholmes? Wait, what the fuck? Why are you talking about? How very distressing to be held in such a low esteem. Would you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? It's fucking Sholmes, isn't it? It is fucking Sholmes. Oh my god. It occurred to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. That is fucking Sholmes, isn't it? Am I going mad? Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell, he just walks in there like everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? Order! Order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. As well, I had not been set upon an errand. What errand?
Hurley, it's really you. You're awake at last.
Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Van Six? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it wouldn't seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Very well, counsel, you have 5 minutes. Hi, Shirley. My dear fella, I apologize, my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? I can more or less not see his face because it's actually covered by the chat. There we go. Alright. Am I all wrong? Sorry? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me, I should pass out. I just waited for it to stand like that and then just like fall backwards. Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, That concoction of mine was really just a bit of a sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. Right, modesty. Surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to get... Oh, fucking hell. Oh, look at that. I get a little lunchbox. I'm here to give you this, my dear fella. What is that? A lavender fushiki wrapping? A living present from Miss Susato. From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Mrs. Sato foresaw today's event, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand. And that you, Miss Naruto, fight fairly as you are wont do, wouldn't find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you will be giving this small parcel. And those were the dear lady's instructions. I kinda more or less forgot how I actually made Shom's voice, but I think I'm alright. A living present from Susato-san. I don't open it. Why did you bring me this? A cat flappinator. Why did you... So I'm checking that because it is behind my chat there. So I have to check there. That's the cat flappinator. That's the thing that creates cat flaps indoors. Why? Why did you bring me this? What? Sholmes? Am I just losing my mind or something? Oh, it's the machine I made. Yeah, the cat flappinator. That makes... that, cat flaps. Well, there you have the explanation of what that is. I don't know if that was the name, but that's a machine that makes cat flaps. Like that. This was more or less in the beginning of this chapter, because that's the cat of our dear Japanese friend who we defended in the last chapter. Technically, that's the way for you. Oh. And apparently she made that thing to make a cat flap. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. Yeah, what is that? Cute, but entirely useless. A bit like you perhaps needed it once. If you're not gonna make a service, of course. If you're gonna make a service that makes cat flaps for people, then you could earn some money with that. But if it is an invention to make cat flaps, for like if you just like sold that thing, it would be useless. And if you just use it for your own intention, it's even more useless. I call it the cat flapomat. Okay, a flapomat. It's a cat flapomat. You can make cat flaps for little furry friends like a Waggy in seconds. Like, okay. Why did you bring me this? What's Susie up to? I have no idea. Mrs. Southern muttered the following words before she left. I am a failure. I don't deserve to be juridical assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? I don't remember her saying that. Why? Why do you see yourself as a failure? What did she mean by that, Mrs. Holmes? That night, when you left Windybanks in pursuit of the thieves, Mr. Sutton made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer there, fella. Not all cryptic then. So to use this cat flapomat that night, but why? Was there ever a flap in the door? No. The only flap in anything in this case is literally the flap on the door, which we opened to see Gina with a gun in her hand. But if that's the case, that flap was made by this, none could have seen anything. I would call it a sewing machine or whatever it is called. It's kind of fun because, well, let's just say I know that my grandmother had one of these big. I don't know what you call them, but you literally just thread like thick string in them and just bounce them together to make a mat. So I'm pretty certain that a matomat does exist. I don't think it has that name, but it exists. Yes. I remember when my grandmother used that. Do they still have that there? Like, it's an old thing. I think they actually used to have that in their kitchen. Or am I mistaken? Nah, I think they actually used to have that there. Did they? I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I was last at my grandmother's some days after Christmas. It was nice meeting them. It was nice meeting them. They're nice. I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Raper. I need no thanks, detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are anonymous in their learnings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summon examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utter futile. I really just love whenever he says that, like, it's futile, and whenever they like do anything that is good for us, they call them nincompoops or something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? The rest is down to you there, fella. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. We need to be careful here. If we make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests summon examination. No, wait a second. What should I do? I'm gonna check this thing. What in the world is this bloody thing? Oh, Jesus. Whew. Those vicious teeth look like they would rip through almost anything.
They're good, aren't they? They made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all.
And what are the two parts at the top there?
Oh, those are for attaching hinges. To the section of the door that can get cut out.
Right, of course.
Nothing that can match this machine for power. It can make a minced meat of even the toughest door.
Minced meat. Yeah, I bet.
Why guy is so adorable, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Even developing deadly weapons.
Jesus. I hope the cat is never gonna take over the world because Jesus. That's like... Yikes. Can ask for any sort of weapon. What should I do? I need to do a summation examination. My only chance is to appeal to the jurors to try to change their minds. What thing? Sorry. Okay, thank you for at least giving me a second chance.
don't think that's what Hurley means.
Yeah, he's talking about that. I was uncertain actually what a cat flap would do for the jurors, but yeah, I am gonna do a cross-examination. Thank you. I'm glad you don't take any health of me doing stuff like this.
Objection.
Further cross-examination. The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now. Yeah, but the cross-examination was on hold. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of an existing witness. What? Yeah, because they said it was on hold because of the blood, and because of the blood, everyone just said guilty. I still have my cross-examination. It would appear that rather important detail has escaped your attention, Reaper. Yeah, interrupt the cross-examination. And the cross-examination is on hold.
So nobody can say anything then. If Reno asked to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Grayton,
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd. He really hates to lose, doesn't he? And also, welcome, humble viewer, to the stream I'm holding. I do hope you enjoy my voices, because they're absolutely annoying for me to make. I love making voices, I'm gonna say that. But like, holy crap, my throat's just gonna kill me afterwards. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request a continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of those proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it. If you follow that, the situation remains unchanged. I will move to adjudication. It has something to do with the cat flap. I'm not joking, she just gave me a cat flap mat. My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it is high time I fell in a dead faint. Wait, is he just gonna faint? I leave this in your capable hands. Or is he gonna just faint? Yes. Okay, I didn't expect him to faint like that. But I do love that he said that he is just using all his strength not to faint. And literally just like, yeah, I am done for. Dunk. I also do love he has time to actually say, I'm gonna have to faint, and I leave this in your capable hands and then faint. Yeah, that was a bit of an aggressive faint. I would expect a laugh and then just fall back. That would be absolutely hilarious. To stand so insufficiently before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man is extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he feels very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man when he's down, won't you? Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared? Hopefully I am. Hold on, I'm gonna save for safety reason. I'm gonna do a new one. Always a new one. I don't know why. I'm gonna do that. The Old Baileys. Is it gonna slap himself on the cheeks? Nope. One statement. So it must be the statement where they mention the flap. Because if they actually gave me the piece of evidence of a cat flapomat, then that means that they must have made a cat flap. where I flap in the door, which means that there was no flap for the gun to flap through. I don't know why I say flap so much, but we have a cat flapomat, so yeah. Jesus, I'm just like using the word so much right now. Very well then. Under the terms I have outlined, you may resume your cross-examination.
Yay! You're gonna have to dig your own grave here, I believe, because you have lied to the whole place.
Yeah. We know about that. Yeah. I'm gonna try, because it just says see him through the peephole in the door, though.
Objection!
Yep. What on earth is that? Eccentric contraption, Council.
Oh, it's my cat flapomat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of our room.
You can cut through...
Or you can go through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it.
I just love this music with the plops. I just love her theme music. It's absolutely the greatest. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance in this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid to fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine, in particular no time at all. I beg your pardon. A peephole, you say? 2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder. Hold on a second here. I think I remember something from a goddamn photo I have. That's why we don't see a cat flap in this photo. There is none. I thought it was covered by that curtain, but there is no cat flap in that. Also, I don't know why I'm using cat flap. It's technically called a peephole when it's like that. But yeah, I really am gonna use the word cat flap because that's what the thing is used for. We arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Windybank and taken place. That's right, according to the paperwork at the yard. It was your Japanese assistant, and Schultz. Yes, 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time. Your assistant did what? There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attend to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed a crime, for pity's sake? You didn't. Yes, how could you? What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean. Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. I have my sword and I'm ready to use it. What it means, my lord, my assistant made a peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through.
Objection!
This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my juridical assistant using this device. Your assistant tampered with the crime scene, whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her action. That's the most serious act of vandalism. For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in a few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Because he couldn't see anything. Riddled with... explain yourself again, counsel, please. The majority of Mr. Grayson's testimony that appeared to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident that the people did not yet exist in the door, there is no possible way you could have seen what you have claimed to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. And here everyone's sitting, voting guilty. Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
He's gonna say no. None whatsoever. As my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly. Just some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. You seriously expect people to believe that plaything can go through a solid wooden door?
Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can go through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
I had a feeling you would say that.
What?
Maggie!
Oh wait, she made a cat door in the...
She made a cat door.
in the courtroom.
Well,
Young lady, this is the Old Bailey's. One does not make a cat flap in the oak paneling of the Old Bailey's. But they could, that's the point.
just a cat coming in there like, hi, what is everyone doing?
Oh, Jesus. I thought you would, like, more or less say, if you don't trust me, I will use this and you can see for yourself. But to just already have it prepared and call for the cat, it's absolutely the best. I love it. She's the greatest. I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storeroom door at Windybanks was made by your machine. There is no way you can prove that it was.
No, but it's easy.
What?
The cat flap and cat flap mount crates are all fixed size. And the dimension of the people at Windybanks are an exact match.
Jesus, if they even want more evidence, we could more or less just check the photos as I did.
All the silk is lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you for making a cat flap in the Old Bailey's. And now it's my learned student's friend to turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your juridical assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the people has dimension that are perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when were the people cut? The prosecution demand proof of your answer. What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, my Lord Van Zeeks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the people was created after the incident using this device. But now the perpetrator has returned to her native land. She cannot testify the act. There is no proof. And as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the people was made, my learned friend's claim amount to nothing more than a baseless accusation. We still have a load of pictures, and the pictures I have. Indeed, that is Lord Van Six. Well, Council?
Don't give up now, Runo. This is a time to create your own opening and force your way through.
Okay, lend me the gun then. I'm gonna make a cat flap the size of me. Very well. The Council for the Defense will present evidence to support the claim made. I am gonna... Can I pause this before anything? Because I don't trust my own judgment sometimes. I do not trust my own judgment, so I will not trust really what I'm going on here. The only thing I have is like the photo. So this is a photograph taken automatically by red-handed recorder showing the scene a short time after the murder took place. Oh, look at that! Oh, Jesus. Of course I would believe it. Also, look at that. Now I can see the cat flap. For some reason, I never noticed that because I saw this photo a lot and I never saw a cat flap over here. But I only used this picture to see that there was something wrong over here. But I never noticed the cat flap is over here.
Take that!
I'm gonna use this. The defense believe this is all proof the court should need.
Objection.
Okay, then it's the other photo. Probably is the best to show first when it wasn't found and when it was found. Because, yeah. Don't worry, I know what I did wrong. As I said, I don't trust my own judgment. I know the way I thought of, but I did it in the wrong way. I should have shown that there was no cat flap at the time. Not that there is a cat flap at the time. So if I show them the one without the cat flap, they will probably say, then when was it made? We can just check the other photo and say in between those places. But for some reason I choose the one where it actually show the cat flap like the idiot I am.
Take that!
There we go. What are you? A print that detective infernal cameras again. My juridical assistant, Miss Susato Mikotobak, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never have any cause to doubt that she would have considered the scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof. Unnecessary proof is this photographic print, Council. This print shows a scene in the shop a moment after the defendant entered the premises. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercenarily wield a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background. Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door into a storeroom is completely devoid of a people of any description. He dug his own grave, that guy. You couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no people in the door. In other words, your testimony is catalog of lies. Is he gonna lose his mind? I was a monster of losing it. I have seen worse losing it than that. I am satisfied that the defense has sustained its claim beyond all reasonable doubts. This witness testimony was entirely false. That's not the only thing we know now beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. But more importantly... Good lord, there's more Lordman seeks. Do you never shut up? The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of the perjury, but that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. No, but it more or less proves that something happened. Yes, that's right. What was there to see, and it's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true, but that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. But you're right, as it stands now, I don't have any definite proof that he is the true culprit.
Still, he can't warn his way out of this now.
Iris?
You know what they say. There's no point of locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Is that right, Runo?
I have no idea. As Hurley
always say. One lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told makes no sense. Makes no sense. What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something about something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there is a fundamental inconsistency in your statement. What?
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court, explain this alleged inconsistency? Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lines the witness statement. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. It came in the day after, so I guess that's the point. I would say the third gun. No, wait. We did discuss a third gun, so you might have just said that there. The blood stain on the coat. Because you could not see the blood stain on the coat, and the blood stain on the coat is technically old. The bloodstains that were presented on Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right, the victim's blood splat all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the peephole in the...
He's such a twat.
Because I saw it through the... Oh. Just... Oh. I just realized my point. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. In the nature of the lies you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense, neither are you, to be honest. Then let's make me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the peephole in the storeroom? What? Well, obviously, has cat got your tongue, witness? The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard investigators arrived immediately. Is that? Oh, that's true! He never came after. He came before everything and tried to take the disc. Yeah, I did. How did he knew about that now? Wait, I actually just realized that. What the fuck? How did he know that? Well, of course, the place is chock full of pawn articles and my lads have thoroughly examined them all. So I gave the order to an officer working around the clock in shifts so we get through it all. And so consequently, there is no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence formed the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable. How
Objection!
did you know about that? And don't try to object your way out of this. And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that that he witnessed the crime take place through the people in the door. How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Six? Speak, Inspector. It's just really off to getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so it's... You're hiding something. Don't tell me you're actually is the third brother of these two. Because for first of all, they acted like he was his third brother. And he just said, I don't know these two, and I actually trust them. Yeah, that is a bit suspicious. And then when they talked about like something happening with like the two Bulgars or something, he just started to strangle one of them, like, why I'm so annoyed by you. Are you the third brother? It's not all the same to me, Inspector, not at all. A bit fish and chipsy. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I really want to do that now. I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow. I'm gonna find fish to make fish and chips with. What fish do you often use when you make fish and chips? I'm pretty certain it's different, but I just want to know because I actually don't really remember what fish it used to be often. I'm just curious because I'm gonna try and cook that myself someday. Of course. Cod. Wait, what is the translation for cod? Because I really... Cod. Fish. I also have to say fish because else they believe in... There. Svenska. Latin? What the fuck are you talking about? No! Hold on. Fuck, for some reason it really liked me to... Torsk! Okay, torsk. Huh, that's interesting. Did it used to be torsk? I don't remember. I'm gonna check with my father as well. Or haddock. Oh, jeez. Haddock. What is... Oh, good god. I have to check again. Kolja. Okay, yeah, I have to check whatever sort of fish actually exists because I don't even know if any of those exist in there. I'm gonna check. I am gonna have to check. Either I just have to find whatever fish exists. And I think I like... That's the problem. I am technically not much for fish. I only like some fish and chips. For example, we did actually get fish and chips by a fish and chip stand in Borås when I went to my parents. And I'm gonna be honest, that's absolutely great to eat. They even have the skin on. Oh yeah, I can... if I ever am in England, I don't know if I ever will be or when I will be. I cannot say for certain because I'm not a person that really travels a lot. But if I ever do, I am gonna go and check out a good fish and chips shop. For right now, I have my father as tester. Because he's a person that likes some fish and chips and doesn't like some other. Because he is used to some and not used to some. So he likes the one at Liseberg, which is a amusement park. He likes the one in Borås where we got fish and chips now, where they have the little stand. And he likes the one at the English food stand in the food markets that comes now and then.
Objection!
Where they even have like mashed peas. Like mashed peas, fish and chips. They don't have it in a newspaper, but they have like a little plate and newspaper in it. It's like so nice. You realize I trust that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. I'm just gonna check. Yes. But the defense believes that the detail about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. I gotta check something. I don't know why I need to check this now. Technically not, but I don't care. Just gonna check what sort of fisk they have. Okay, I'm just gonna check. Oh no, they actually have cod. For how much? 58 per piece, 3 pieces in one. I'm just gonna check if it's like have no bone in it. I don't think it has. But they have a lot of actually cod, to be honest. Yo, that's nice. I'm gonna make myself some cod fish and chips. Actually, I really do want that now. Who is the person in question, Counsel? I probably have some vinegar as well. I don't really use much vinegar, and I'm not really much for vinegar, except for like vinegar and salt chips. But I might just test that, because I'm pretty certain you used to have that now and then on fish and chips. Who knows? I might like it.
Take that!
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Also, my father wanted me to show him how to do that as well if I ever did it. Because, of course, he would want to make his own fish and chips.
Objection!
You had better have some proof to sustain such rash claims, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it through the course of the trial today. Indeed. Preparations for this testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess. While the police extended the subpoena and brought the man here from the communication station. And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court. Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned? Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You were suggesting to the court that it was while the trial was in progress that he received the information, so he could commit perjury in order to save his skin. Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson. This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigation to this fellow, eh? Well, they did actually more or less just speak to each other behind our backs and like, oh, we didn't do nothing, don't worry about it, like, yeah. I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that? Quite true. I had numbers of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after the proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they have been in full view in the stand, where such illicit discussions wouldn't possibly have occurred.
Oh, I just remembered something, Bruno.
Yeah, I know what you remembered, and I know exactly the same thing. What is it?
It was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying.
Oh yes, now you mention it. When the bailiff, yeah, the music box. When the bailiff was dispatched with retrieve the McGilded music box. This from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during that testimony. Yeah, so she was just testimonying and testifying, and then those two is like, we're just gonna talk here. Don't worry about us. I hope no one has forgotten that. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then. You little toe rag. Yeah, I actually used the word, the sentence toe rag. You're making all this up. I am the respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke? Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was a part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense. What deal, Counsel? I wonder if perhaps in exchange for the details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. I'm sure I need not to remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. I actually did as well. For me, it was just like, yeah, he's a cop. He has more or less told you everything, but like, yeah, some of it definitely wrong now. Well, Also, how long have I been streaming? Oh, holy shit. It's becoming clear that jumping in this accusation is this Nipponese student's specialty. Perhaps it is, but it has gotten on this far, mate. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Oh, bloody hell. I need to find some evidence. I have one life left. Hold on, I have to save. Don't trust myself. Don't do that. Oh yeah, I was playing some Animal Crossing earlier. I was just... I was playing before the stream. So I hadn't saved and stuff. So I just thought, like, I'm just gonna show around a bit. See how... just show how my island looks like. I can do that just before I end the stream as well, if you want to. Just what are you proposing? That the inspector demanded of the witness in return. The court must see proof of this alleged deal. Oh yeah, my things arrived actually the day after. Most of the things that doesn't say instant arrive the day after. Doesn't matter what I buy. So yes, everything arrived the day after. I can say it like I can say it like this. Everything that makes an update for the game, like building a house, building a bridge or something like that, will always occur on the day after. For example, I managed to do the museum now. I got him all the things he needed to build the museum, and the museum was, yeah, but that doesn't matter. I still have the stuff. I still have some good stuff. But yeah, because like I could still have the thing for the New Year thing the day after anyway. It was kind of fun. I cannot really use it not much now, but I have some good stuff there anyway. Also, I haven't checked actually what they sell there now. I have to go and do that. Plus, gain my points. I don't think I've gained my points yet.
Bruno, do you think it could be...
Yes. It's a missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. I must press you for an answer now, Counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson did with the witness? I actually don't know. There might be, but not on my island yet, because I think I've seen someone play it and actually gone into a cafe. But I have never done that. I don't have that yet. I still am like, I don't know, 5 days into the game, and we thought of everything updates per day, it taking a bit of a time. But it's a fun game. What evidence explained the nature of the alleged deal the experienced Gregson made? The papers signed by Gina to put them in the charge? No. Blood samples portfolio? No. Pawnbroker ticket? I don't know really. I could say this because of the secrets being leaked, but I don't think so. Not that, I know of that. I could say this, that he would be given this afterwards, but it's still like evidence and shit, so that wouldn't make much sense.
Take that!
Yeah, I think I'm wrong because the music continues. I think. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna already load up my save. Also, did I say something with voices? Have I missed that all game? The fuck did I just do? I must have just gone down or something. It was just Pavlova's cabin, like, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to be there. Oh, I'm just gonna check something. Voices? Voices are on. Oh, it must be for the, like, objections and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. It's a missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. What do you mean by missing link?
Take that!
I just did that because this is the only thing that is not a full piece of evidence yet. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case? What are you getting at now, sunshine? Is it possible this other top secret case is what alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. How the bleeding Nora could you... We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windybanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were on McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case. Ooh, so it's not that he's a bad person. He's just working for more or less the government and stuff in a way that he must have it for, like, for all costs. Which means even send someone to jail and make someone go free. On the day of the incident, when we met on Windybanks, you said what? I'll be taking whatever it is of my gilded down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Scotland Yard already knew at the time. Isn't that right? The Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of the government secrets. My orders were to recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume? Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Blimey, not likely, I mean, I was not sure of it myself. I realized it was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely would not say that in order to acquire the second of the music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential detail of the crime scene to the witness. To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony. There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. So technically he is trustworthy. It's just because of the whole government shit he did whatever was needed. If this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it will mean that the second disc is, as we speak here, in this very courtroom.
Wait, what? In this courtroom?
How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What is that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Good gracious, then you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession?
Yes!
The defense demand that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before. And Greg hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately. Well, Inspector. This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my professional quite enough. However, if it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search. He's going to agree to it. I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you're now tethered, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will informally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. Indeed, to have a visiting student make such defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook. They say that we more or less just try to hide the fact that a guy had been killed by a British person. So yeah, thank you for having the trust in me. The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so crucial. The disc must have been physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here. Very well, Counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time. Yes, my lord. Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's effects? Search someone else. I believe I know know the guy he was almost strangling. Oh, well. Don't you say you weren't warned? But your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good. Fair enough. I got nothing to hide. Very well. Bailiff, conduct a search of the inspector's personal... Wet fish slap. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson. What? Now what all this? I'm not one of your accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted him to search me. No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else. What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it all, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational. Who is screaming? Oh, of course she has the lungs to scream.
Rudy's doing what you all told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way.
Everyone is like, fuck, she's right. I'm being told down by a 10-year-old. Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's convictions, and eagerly awaits his next... you what? Now, don't be hasty, my lord. Yeah, now he is afraid. If I'm not mistaken about things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
Take that!
Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin. Well, I never. Eh? Hey! Him! I just love how the brother points at his brother. Very well, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects. Yeah, he's afraid. Scotland Yard has to object to this search.
Objection!
You don't have that because there's no... Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. Yeah, because even if it says because of Scotland Yard, I'm not searching anyone on Scotland Yard's manor. I'm searching that guy. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object. But, my Lord Van Seek, I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial. Bailiff, carry out the search.
Now, hold on, Mo. I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc. Cut it out, cut it out.
You don't want to be stripped naked.
Here, my lord.
Oh, yeah, no, it's the bailiff. Here, my lord. In the witness pocket. I found this.
Yeah, the second disc.
Good lord, that's another music box disc.
I don't know nothing about it, nothing.
Yeah, but I know who did. It's literally switched place from a deal to a half strangling. Yeah, no problem, Turtle Girl. It was nice to have you here. Have a good evening to you. Have a good rest of the week until Thursday. I don't really know what to play on Thursday. But I might find something. I might find something to play. I think I have, like, some stuff to play now that I've gotten myself. Is it not Inspector Gregson? Order! Order! Mr. Skulky, I think, I don't know, should I, like... There is a half an hour. I think I might be able to finish the game before everything ends. Mr. Skulky, what do you have to say for yourself? Gordon Bennett, I mean, Gordon Lemon Bennett. I swear I know nothing about that disc, honest to God. Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective, no? Without question, my lord. Then for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that Inspector traded for information? Inspector Grayson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall. What unusual behavior? It was... yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon... Yeah, there. While Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently. Oh yeah, I didn't know all. I thought my nugget was going to fall clear off, I did. I was wishing I would be born, was be born brother, I was. And why exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? I got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me. Well, like it started shaking me. Why the blazes? You mentioned the third gun when we got you down to the station. Well, what is that? You went right down my ear, all it did. Yeah, it was still throbbing, no? The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc. Well, bless my wig, that just almost fell off my head. He hid it. I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? Is it a court of law he would have submitted the item as evidence? It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. Why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. Yeah, he's not to mention anything. Hush, hush. A top secret assignment, is it? As far as we are aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that that the information were to be revealed in court as evidence. It would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector? I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took the steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. Does this mean? He only pretended to attack Miss Gulkin in order to get close enough to him, to slip the second disc into his pocket. So it was all a pretense, sir. Well now, Inspector Gregson. And you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of all this alleged deal? Admit to it. Yours truly, please. Mr. Graydon. Clearly, your Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there is no proof that I did pass that disc to the inspector.
Objection.
But then, how did you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony, that I admit. So sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with a detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of that is about. Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit of taking a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc? Ladies and gents of the jury, as Scotland Yard Inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done is been in the name of justice. So, as a member of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be in your guiding light when you're making your decision. This is quite contrary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time for me to put matter to the jury of their final learning. Or leaning. Well now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector.
Yes, he is a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one become good judge of character. Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me.
Well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in the detective, really.
Graydon is highly skilled operator, Stubb. Currently in the presence of idle Stubb.
A detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say.
Is Ginny going to be found guilty?
If I don't manage to produce some defined evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybanks or stole those government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson to admit that he struck a deal with a witness. Well then, counsel. I think it's time I impose on the jurors to declare the final decisions, no? That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. There's no choice then, Bruno. You have to throw some more evidence at them.
This is it now. It all comes down to this. Oh, fucking hell. How many times today have I had it comes down to this kind of talk? Because I'm pretty certain it happened very often already. Like, holy crap. I have one life left as well. Let me check. I don't know. I want to say Gregson, because Graydon seems so, like, swirling around right now that it feels like I don't have anything on him, and there's nothing I really have on him. Inspector Gregson. There's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. What is that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Well, go on.
Take that!
Is that Mr. McGilda's peculiar music box, Counsel? Yes, with a disc already in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now we get a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we just discovered. Yeah, because he's so afraid of listening to this thing that each time this thing has been presented, he has been like sweating bullets. So if I'm gonna have to force his hand, then I have to do something he is not acknowledged to even allow. Goodness, this disc, Counsel. No, wait. I can't let you do that. Why not? Because, well, because it's got nothing to do with this case.
Objection!
It has. Not true, Inspector. The defense has already proposed that the sound heard by the court earlier from this music box were a part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message, and now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you go on letting the whole country hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Then do you admit the charges? That in order to protect those state secrets you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness? You're mad. You let that secret information out in the public domain. You'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot. Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because by fair means or foul you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare! I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I do not care who I make an enemy of. Oh, look at that! It's literally just... Is he gonna cheer for me now? My lord, if you please, the court must hear the sound made by that music box. Come on, Van Siegs, for Pete's sake, stop him. He's not gonna stop anything. Oh, boot time! This time, I'm not the one getting the boot. Gregson is actually getting the boot. Boot time! Inspector, you should know by my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. So let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth by fair means or foul. It is actually giving me a toast. This is the only times I like that guy, and that's when he is by all means more or less defeated, but like take it fairly. Very well, the defense stands here, and that of the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. He just sits there like, fuck. Is he gonna stop at anything? No, he's not. Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want, but for love of God, shut that blooming box up. Everyone is quiet, like, Jesus. Oh, we had him cornered there at least. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with a witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Shit, I dropped my pen. Specifically, did you furnish the witness with this confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? You revealed the existence of the people in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector. I did. It's all exactly to the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after a recess, we were stood here in the stand together. And that's when he approached me with a deal. Shut up, you imbecile. Yeah. Technically, you could call that blackmailing as well, in a way. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge. Not under my circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told the details about the case that should be put him in the clear. The people in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet, you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness' perjury. I did. But then it turned out the people had only been there that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely, this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbroker in the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Windybank. Is he gonna lose it? Oh, yeah, kinda. Oh, Jesus. Holy shit, yeah, he's losing. Bailiff, restrain that man! At once! Jesus. Literally more or less took a strangling grip with his cane, as so hard it more or less broke a bit. And also, welcome, Mumble viewers, to the stream I'm holding. We more or less finished with this trial. Yay! What's happening right now? Is he restrained? I despise my life growing up. Those slums are wild places. I was cursed from birth, born by poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. The funny part is that you literally used to be like the person you are accusing. Oh, shit. Ooh. Almost dropped something here. But you still believe that everyone is beneath you for some goddamn reason. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole. And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination. But then you decided to try sell government secrets. Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in the squalor could ever imagine. Then one day I met him. Mr. Magnus McGill.
You're a thing with a square talent. You are. And money to throw your way if you're interested.
And yes, he is actually Irish.
All you need to do is go along with my plan.
I didn't really read that, sorry. I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic messages logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for the inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple task enough. Then lure the devil's offerings. How easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason, I took great length to ensure that my actions were untraceable by using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right. He was a very skilled at his hands. He's been a music box maker apprentice. Imagine his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could go generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his service. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slum 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty never broke him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got some work for you, father. I need some music box discs made. Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine was written some music he wants to sell to public. Ah, it's this guy. I brought a score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him make the two discs. Therefore, splitting the information in two, we were taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in two separate transactions. The first involved the first of the two discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then on the receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas. So what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of the deal the exchange of the second disc? Yes. I sold the man information that way a number of times already. But it seems he had become reluctant to part with his money. But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. For why was it that on the omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with McGilded and not yourself? When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, Next time there is an exchange, you let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore. That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus and hand over the second disc and take the money from Matilda, that is. He had no idea what actually was on the disc I had asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. It was only then I found out what sort of monster Matilda really was. So after 10 years of not uttering it, I swore on my father's name. To exact revenge. Revenge? As anyone with even remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, Mr. McGill brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable ways. To crush any semblance of justice in this trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. The trial 2 months ago was a farce from the start to finish. Yeah, we couldn't do anything about that anyway. I had made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangement 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you are willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. Mr. McGillard himself has shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. Yeah, so you just wanted to show some stuff and then the thing started to bloody burn. Like a barbecue stand or something. Yeah, we know about that. That happened 2 months ago in the first chapter. Not technically not the first chapter, but the first trial in England. That policeman who came to tell McGill that he would examine the omnibus again. That's right, an imposter hired by me. McGill uses wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manners of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was down in Parfane, one of my sham policemen ushered Mr. McGillet inside and sent him on one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. A spine-chilling account indeed. But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded. Ah, yes. There was indeed no mention of this in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime. When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with Mr. McGilded. This is the first of the two discs, and the music box you need to play them.
Well, look at that now.
Sorry, I cannot really go in.
What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man.
What's this? Winterbank's pawnbroker.
Aye, it's a pawnbroker ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for you. There is no need to give a name, just hand the ticket over and tell the fiend the watchword. I put a jewel in my pawn for you. You fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will.
Even I never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before.
Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one like an extremely secure vault.
I guess it's gonna go over 3 hours a bit here, but no matter. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that, on the night he killed my father, he must have trusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at Windybanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced that it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And I was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I need to do was wait until the girl went to Windybanks to redeem the article. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's overcoat and the disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with a second disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of the fact. Had it not been, I could have avoided my night-time excursion. And meanwhile, as the investigation into the stolen government secret was progressing, we prepared some facts that McGilded was involved. Inspector, you recovered fast. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quick as possible. We started gathering the fellow's possession and examined whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on this yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I become nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still there in the pawn shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that some night with the help of your old friends, the Skulking Brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery, I can only describe as a nightmare.
Yo, Gammy! Welcome! It's more or less the end of this trial, so that's why I am a bit late with the whole ending the stream. But yeah, welcome! Also, I can give you some information now when you're here. It's kind of fun information that I don't think you noticed.
Just woke up at 2 a.m. because I was trying to take a nap an hour before the stream and fell asleep for most of it. Like, that's no worries. When people need to sleep, people need to sleep. Like, there is no worries at all about that. So it's always good for you to rest. Yeah, you made it to stream. You made it to a bit of an overtime stream here. So don't worry about that. Apparently, it took a long turn here because Gregson was about to do everything to get the hands on the secrets. So he made a deal with this guy to get the secret, to call him, well, not guilty or innocent. So he literally more or less had to threaten Gregson with actually playing. What do you mean with... Oh, what is going on here? So we had to threaten him by playing this government secret on the second disc we found in one of the Skulking Brothers' pocket, because Gregson had literally smuggled it in his pocket when he was just shaking him violently. So when we were about to more or less give out government secrets to the whole Old Baileys here, he literally said, "Stop, okay, I lied. I did actually give this guy information about the whole trial. I did strike a deal." Like, yeah. Because else this guy knew about stuff that wasn't there before. Because apparently, if you remember, the door had a little flap that we saw Gina in. Apparently that was made by the cat flapomat, this thing, after the incident. So after Sholmes was shot and stuff, Sutsano, what was Miko Tobacco, Miko Tobak, you know, our little assistant, had apparently used this thing to make a hole in the door for some reason, and that's where we actually looked in. So somehow this guy knew about the flap after we got that thing from Sholmes just waltzing in here. And that's where stuff just started to turn for this guy, because there were no flap when he was there. So after that, we literally like, okay, there's been a deal between these two. But because we couldn't prove anything, we were about to be found guilty because everyone in the jury is an asshole sometimes. So because we found the second disc, we had the first disc, we just threatened him to play both of them at the same time in here. And because he literally is trying to even stop the whole trial to get the discs and everything, yeah, he was kind of shaken after that. So after that, this guy was absolutely just taken, because there's nothing there to defend him against anyway. Also, I don't know if you knew that, but do you remember something very big I retweeted a few days ago? I just wanted to answer if you remember and what it was in that case. But then something entirely unexpected happened. I'm gonna wait for your answer while I just do some voices here. Because you're gonna have just a whole lot of a day today if you're gonna hear this from me. I just want to make sure that you're prepared of what I'm talking about right now. So it was something I retweeted from someone. Or something. Yeah, HoloLive. Do you remember that one I retweeted? I think it's a kind of a big tweet in a way. Yeah, but the HoloLive one. Remember me retweeting that one? I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. I cannot stop fucking smiling. Yeah. I'm gonna wait until you're back. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. Because I'm pretty certain you actually like that one. Because I can literally see what you like sometimes, and that was one of the things. It all took place in a blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash or Ringo even realized what had happened at first. Yeah. Do you want to guess what I have done? Do you want to guess what I have done, Gani? I'm giving you a guess, and I believe highly you will guess right. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windwise. Seriously, you must be able to see on my goddamn smile on what I have done. Also, I did actually send on Discord in the public channel. I can't believe I did this. With a lot of yes. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do it because I want to. I did it because of giggles. It would be fun if it actually happened, but yes, I auditioned. I actually auditioned. I did that. As I said, I've never really planned to ever become a VTuber. I don't know if I ever will become a VTuber, but I did that for fun. I did that, as I said, for giggles. And yes, I auditioned. Yo, welcome Akutori to the stream. Yeah, I'm doing all the voices. Yeah, so we just have to see how that goes. I don't even know. Everything is fine. I am about to more or less just finish this story. Technically, my... yeah, for the shits and giggles. If you're wondering what I am talking about, I actually auditioned to HoloLive just a few days ago. I have not... yes, exactly. I've not really any plan of becoming a VTuber. I perhaps someday in the future, I don't know. It's not really something I've ever considered because I like what I do. But I just thought like, why not? So I just mostly just made it for the giggles. It's kind of fun, like why not? See if something happens. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why, but I kind of also took it a bit seriously, so I more or less have like 12 takes of an in-character I don't know, description or something, introduction. So, yeah, that was fun. Yes, I think I have. So this guy is absolutely done for. Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial. Also, I have to do this. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Apparently, it was not much you needed to do. They just like, are you doing something specific? Like, for example, it was like, I think it was like you have to do like at least 3 times a week or something, which I already do. Do you have a YouTube? Do you have a Twitch? What's your name? And stuff like that. Yeah, a bit like that. Also, I did discuss this with Turtle Girl before, and I would say, like, you would absolutely fucking love this if I ever became a VTuber. You would absolutely love this. And also, I'm gonna do this because I... oh, wait, hold on. I do that to all the team members, that just some pops in here now and then. There we go. What did you play last time? Oh, chatting. Always good with chatting. I'm very bad with just chatting streams because I'm a person that has to either play something to show something and talk about stuff like that. If it's just chatting, I don't know what to talk about. But yeah, no problem, Akutori. I do that for every team member that joins in, or people I know that joins in. So no problem. I know at least that Drana Cthulhu was here as well before. He has been restrained, my lord, and has been escorted to the yard. My last stream was 11 minutes, I spoke no words. That's the thing, like, I cannot be quiet. It's like I feel like the thing is I often quiet when with new people, but not when streaming because I need to like make people interested in what's happening. It's like I was on Dariel's gameplay more or less a few days ago when we played Rocks and Stones or something like that. I don't know. And he was away doing food or something. The other people were also away, so I was like sitting there like I'm the only one by the computer. I was like, am I gonna stay quiet? Do I need to say something? So now and then I just said like, you have to excuse. I don't know really what to say. But the rest of the people is away for the moment, but we'll be back shortly. Yeah, I didn't know what to say. And also, welcome, Yoko. I'm also gonna do this. There you are. There we go. Yes, my lord. Of course. It transpired that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. I didn't even know you were here. Bloody hell. I think I can like... No, wait. Does that only show who is actually in chat? I actually don't know. You're just a little sniping gremlin. No, you're a little sniping goat. That's what you are. You're not a gremlin, you're a goat. The crime is a serious one, Inspector. And inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Yeah?
It's time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Foreman? Yes, sir. Gary Deb Squadron standing by, sir. This is really it now. The funny part is that all of the black banners here more or less means that they all voted guilty. So, I think they're more or less a bit sad of what they choose here, to be honest.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I do wonder if we're gonna see this guy more, because I remember seeing him in the beginning of the game, and he actually was like either a I don't know, freedom fighter or terrorist from Russia. And like, he's sitting in the stand here like, okay, that's the stuff. I'm off to look. Finally, Bruno, you finally managed to do it. Jesus, also my like small girl voices. Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on the top for a while here.
Susie was right. The best lawyer in the world.
Miss Lestrade, I'm not finished with you yet.
Wait, what? What are you looking at me for that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider, 2 months ago, in courtroom no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windy Bank's pawnbrokery. Oh, also today I tried skateboarding with my mom's old longboard. I got a lot of bruises. Yeah, I'm not good at skateboarding either. I know my sister had one. I tried it now and then, but we don't really have roads for it where I was, so I just more or less tried now and then. I wasn't really great at it myself. I haven't done nothing of it, though. Of course not. Not like you were ever gleeful wearing Mickey McGillis' coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Ginny this evening.
And I learned sort of how to do at... Oh, nice and Ollie. I was about to say, I was about to read it as you learn how to do it online. Well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel. And this guy. Also, Turtle Girl missed the boot. She loves the boot. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. But not while moving. Well, I guess like when you start stuff like that, it's probably best not to move. Then you can do it when you move. I also have to go back learning more violin, to be honest. Very sorry about that. It was only the only way that I I could get Inspector Gregson to admit that he'd done so. I'm not gonna use a voice because I don't know who's talking.
It's about the sound produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all.
What? What are you saying, madam?
Oh well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seemed to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession one feels.
But I must say, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. Meaningless series of two different tones.
What? Even I am confused now. It wasn't Morse code after all? Wet fish slap. I always love to hear that, just a wet fish. My lord, the fans would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nuts? How many times do I have to tell you that this contains ministerial secrets, sunshine? This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of government communications. We know McGilder conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further. That is kind of true, actually. Yeah, it is going to bother me as well, but it is actually kind of true. But she has been like thinking about something. So what's going on there? Miss Lestrade.
Yeah, my lord? My lord?
That which you have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, incrimination, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child. I'm getting hungry now. I'm gonna get my really yummy egg sandwich later.
Come on, I had nothing done at sea most day in the back slums.
I beg your pardon.
You are awake, you pay. You're awake, you pay for it. That's your whole life goes.
Yeah, she doesn't give a crap apparently.
Oh look, I reckon I've worked something out today. Well, it ain't fair. If you want to change, you gotta start at home. You gotta change who you are yourself.
Which means that she didn't trust us before, but I guess she does that now. Probably. I have no idea. Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Just a very fine way of saying, piss off and stay away. Oh, goodness sake. Now, with regards to the murder of Mr. Pop Windebank, proprietor of the Windebank's pawnbrokery, I hereby declare the defendant, Miss Lestrade, not guilty. Ooh, my throat is getting its toll right now. Happy New Year! Oh, she has one as well! I forgot about that. Okay, I kinda like that one. I forgot she had that thing. That is all. The court is adjourned. How long more? Holy shit, it's gone 30 minutes already. That's kind of something I kind of weirded out with me playing these games. It's like, yeah, we're about to get to the end. It's more or less like an extra bloody hour, to be honest. On a personal note, I must say you surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. I don't even know if to say thank you because it says that very often and then goes back to calling me a clown or something. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. I do love it says, even though you're Nipponese, like, are you really racist right now or what? and at the same time saw through the grim to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent of judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock sword with you once again here in the courtroom. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Throughout you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. You mentioned something similar earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Does this have something to do with our friend that we have the sword from? Because technically, he did say he had some things to conclude here. He had some purpose to be here, but he never managed to say it nor do it. Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must. Coming to be known as the Reaper of Baileys, at my retirement from the service 5 years ago, I give me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. How many do you even have? You're like crushed 3 today. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again. Well, I think it's just a way of saying that they battled in court. That's his way of saying they fought once more. I don't really know why they use the term lock swords, but I guess like whenever you see someone fight with swords, you either parry or strike, and they like causing like the swords to just hit each other. I guess that is what is like locking sword is as a term. I have no idea. Like most of the time whenever I say something, I am just proposing an idea. That's all I do. Hi there, Gina. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. And she still doesn't trust me. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed me right up to the end. You're as well as your name. What's that about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? It's kind of fun. I didn't know that first until someone, I don't know if it was you, Gani, or Turtle Girl, said that Naruto was actually a word in Japanese. No one ever asked before, you see? Get the promise I mean properly. That's awful. I figured something out today. All my life growing up in the slums, I never trusted no one. But that's just cause I've never been scared of being stabbed back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yeah, I see, like I see, now I understand. I understand what this means now. I see. After all, I had a taste of it in that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and paid for it. That betrayal left a big scar. You know, though, Gina, I worked something quite recently too. I see! Oh, I see. I see. Jesus, it's just going on and on right now. There's no better feeling in the world I think I have you to thank for reminding me of what valuable lesson.
Well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me, though.
I'm trying to say that putting my faith in Eugenia has been a real pleasure.
Cry out loud, pack it in. I suppose. I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, you know, alright.
Is it gonna be just I'm cool kind of thing, or I'm hiding my tears kind of thing? Because she does the both for the same thing. Or she does the same thing for both, I mean. Bloody hell. This is the way I see it. Ryunosuke. So that's our dead friend. That's his sword, that's his armband. He got killed on the way here. That comes down to how much faith he has in himself. I have forgotten this guy's voice, by the way, because we only used him for one trial and then he died. Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectation? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believe me I could be? I don't know, but I managed to take your place apparently anyway. Who is interrupting? Oh my god, he did it again! How long have you been keeping that costume on? So I did say before that Sholmes just came in, barging in, just doing some stuff. For example, giving us the cat flapomat. Well, he came in disguised as that. Oh, bloody hell, mate. It's far too late for that voice now, Miss Naruto. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Yes, it was me all along. I would have said when I finally you noticed me. But you people, you are incessant babbling.
Mr. Scholz, yeah.
Yes, it was me all along, you see? Naruto. You see? What more does I see? No, I see is Naruto. What does you see then? Hold on. What does you see? Now I'm very curious. I assume you've been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Yeah, he actually fainted after he has been using... Yeah, he has a mustache. But yeah, he used all his energy to just come to court, give us an evidence, and then faint frankly in the middle of the floor. Yeah, he took it off. Indeed it was, but I managed to escape again. Oh. I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. I'm very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Miss Naruto. Your tireless effort just rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat. Thank you.
What a great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe.
Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade?
While you were having a snooze in your nice soft bed, someone's been having fighting for their lives.
Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So, technically, the bullet didn't actually hit him. It hit his vial he has on his hip, if you can see that. That exploded, apparently. Jesus. So I've indeed been feeling better, somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, how I feel.
Can you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes?
So he's literally just joking again, what the hell? And, in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade.
What does that supposed to mean? Why is it half-hearted?
Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but... An acquaintance is in a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precautious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes, not alarming in the slightest. Yeah, because everyone says that something happens each time the Reaper is in the court. Ah, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone not found guilty in trial, he was working on winds up dead anyway, is that it? The very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGillen, in fact. Ah, but of course I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Yeah, well, it don't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper is a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean God? Yeah, I'm upstairs, knows what's what, right? You know what people are like on the inside. You wanna have got the wrong end of the stick. There's some cubs like that bug trotter who are rotten to a core. And in the end of the day, I'm upstairs make sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing though, the Reaper taking matters into his own hands, claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like the McGildas in this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see? Good with principles. A trait in you which is must be admired, Mr. Strahd. Oi, just give it a rest, alright? As I was saying, congratulations on the order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartful congratulations, Gina.
Well, there you are, Hurley. How long have you been here?
I knew it was been her because she's the only one who used Hurley.
Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there.
Ah, Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made an utter fool of themselves.
What happened?
As you know, I have penchant for disguises. I was hiding in the room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolls did not notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you imagine it, Iris? Could you credit it?
I'm not sure really.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day.
I'll be careful. I do love she can really talk him down. Jesus.
Anyway, it's such a shame. I was hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you?
Oh, look like I'll be able to go nowhere for a while. You're the judge, Pather. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offenses. Once again, breaking and entering, taking the bug trader stuff, what was in the lug, blah blah blah. Yes, I think you found out basically being pickpocket is the main offense. But I mean, ain't an offense, it's a job, ain't it? Jesus. Please don't learn about this, anyone. So that got me thinking, all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Oda? Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon I can make a change. I'll do something for them, like from the slums, something that makes a difference for them.
That's a wonderful idea, Ginny. I'm sure you can do it. What is it?
Yeah, there we have it. That's like the tier part, but she does still the same thing. Who is... I used to believe. The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once.
Right. Well, looks like I'm off them.
Yeah, goodbye, Gina. And good luck. We have never actually seen her tear eye. Odo. Yes? Holy shit, it takes such a long time to load that thing. What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase iteratio missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. Yeah? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you.
Oh, yes. It's good advice, Ginny.
So she was just trying to say thank you and shot me with a grenade launcher.
Right, I see. Well, thanks, Audo.
It's so weird actually seeing her happy because she often has this like, I don't know, I'm capable of handling my own, but just seeing her happy is like, it's nice. No, not at all. In fact, this should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Well, there she goes. I wonder if you ever see her again. I'm pretty certain she's called Gina Lestrade. I am certain we're gonna see her more again. Yeah, that's actually adorable.
Oh, I nearly forgot about the paper outside. A special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocent proven. Isn't it wonderful?
You should have shown it to. You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have had it thrilled.
Oh no, how silly of me. But anyway, I would like to get the good news or then the bad news.
Not again.
Well, what do you say, Bruno? Carly?
As usual, I think rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. Don't mind me, just taking 17 screenshots of that. Alright, it kinda remind me of when I watched a Don't You Laugh You Lose thing. When someone was watching a playthrough of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When there was a cutscene of Zelda bending over. And the only thing you heard was... Fucking hell. You literally just reminded me of that. Jesus. Don't mind me just taking 70 screenshots of that, yeah. I get that. Let's not go there.
Alright then. Let me start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was recorded level of rainfall apparently.
Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in great comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news?
A huge storm has left the seas very choppy.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ, like Jesus. Holy crap.
The channel in particular is awful, so sailing is out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more.
Wait, Dover?
That's right. If we had head to the station immediately, we may still make it in time to wave Susie off.
How long more is this gonna take? Like, Jesus. There won't be a train, surely. We wouldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Miss Naruto? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to a Victorian station earlier and made an arrangement for a special express. If we hurry now, we should be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. The great detective does it again. Indeed it does. It appears to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foible. Okay. What? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive elementary. Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way.
What are you waiting for then? To London, Victoria.
Because this is literally the end. I know it is the end, and I know it's not much else to be happening, so I just want to see this to an end. Also, like, it's not much I need to do recently, so I've done my schoolwork and stuff, so I'm absolutely fine. That took somewhat longer than I anticipated.
Susie's boat must be about to leave now.
Mrs. Sato. Where are you? I don't know why I forget Susato for some reason. Oh, there she is! Over there, look! It's like you're reading something. Tackle her! Oh.
Hold it!
Is he gonna throw that book? Wait, what are you doing? He's throwing that book! Why are you throwing that book?
Miss Naruto, what are you doing here?
We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailing were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see.
Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go?
It went well. She was acquitted.
That's wonderful. Really wonderful news.
Well, I don't think I've heard that in this music much before. The book you were about to throw in the sea. It was your encyclopedia of British law, wasn't it?
Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. Not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So I was saying my final farewell.
You were saying goodbye to the law? You? Would I be correct in assuming that it's because of the people, Miss Susato?
I deliberately altered the scene of the crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? On the evening of the incident, Miss Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introduction lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband.
Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That armband's very important to me.
Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it, wouldn't you? Didn't notice for ages. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapper mat, so I put it in my sleeve. Really? And then I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Winterberg's shop with it later that night.
I don't know how big that thing is, but from my point of perspective, it might be this big. Like, how do you even hide that in the goddamn sleeve? There are big sleeves, but it should be, like, plausible to be able to see it.
And then...
Zzz.
After Miss Naruto had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind.
The storm door, you mean?
Yes, if Gina wasn't there in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know.
So you used the cat flapper mat to take the peephole in the door.
As captured in the photographic print of the shop by one earliest red-handed recorders.
Indeed, it was of the first importance at that point. Precisely when the people was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruto's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have been amounted to nothing.
But when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier.
The trial of Magnus McGilded.
I thought about how it had manipulated the evidence, arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if someone, a wicked criminal, was planning to do the same thing now? Because of the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Winterbank. Even though I was sure we would never have done such a thing.
You were worried that the culprit would try to... further for a crime.
That's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case.
What do you mean?
Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the doors of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, it would have been a way to see beyond the door.
For which a people would be the very thing.
Well, the people had made, I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference.
But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it?
So, that's why you kept it a secret, Susie. You never mentioned that you made a people to anyone, not even the police. I know. And I know that at the time what I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confine Mrs. Holmes. If Mr. Naruto was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the people could save him. That was my plan.
She really thinks of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with crime evidence. A crime scene, something. So Miss Usato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake and Miss Lestrade's. Jesus, this is a very long talk. Holy crap, we've done more or less an extra hour.
The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law.
Oh. Well, I guess she's not the only one. Apparently this guy I'm playing has had cold feet as well.
I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted for the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my sight of my real call as a juridical assistant.
What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that people as a way to implicate Gina, something. And besides, if the people inconsistently hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mrs. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life.
Well, with your kind words, Miss Naruto, you saved me too from my regrets.
Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will come to play on my mind, I'm sure.
But the revelation that music boxes contained secret measures, Naruto. What a triumph to work that out, and fully admiration.
Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was.
Oh, it wasn't?
There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. And she said that the majority of the sound on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one could expect, after all, we're talking about a secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher, I see. So then we could have never had hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you. Are you going to tell me or something? What do you mean by ah? What?
Well, that can be a real word, can't it? Oh, funny.
Asogi, isn't that our friend?
Wait, Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said Asogi. Is that word?
Oh, that's why people said it was meaningless babble. Because that's a name in Japanese, but for them it doesn't mean anything.
Does that word mean something to you?
Mean something? Asogi was the name of my best friend.
What? But how? How do you know that name, Iris? I wrote it down during the trial before. When the message was playing on the music box.
Oh, holy crap. Yeah, exactly, Kazuma. She transcribed it on the fly? Jesus.
I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to intercept it. But whatever I tried, the word didn't just make it seem to make any sense. That's it, in English at least. Oh. It suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more than one Morse code, not just English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added Morse code to use it in their own language.
I don't believe it. Are you saying...
That's right, I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram, isn't it?
And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says asogi?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that?
Mr. Soto, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code?
Yes, I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become very important for international communications.
Then I might recommend, my dear madame, that you focus on your effort on the English version.
Be as it may, Iris, show me the message, please.
This is interesting. I'm still gonna continue. I don't care, really.
But what can this possibly mean?
Whatever it is that the long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes mean, I have no idea because I can technically not see that. I have a chat in front of that. I can only see a little note over there.
There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code.
So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications.
I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names.
4 people.
The first is Ki Asogi.
Kazuma Sogi. What was his name on that disc?
The second is A Shin.
A Shin. I don't recognize that name.
The third, T Gureguson.
Gregson? Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the 3rd man on the list. And what his name's doing in a secret government communication as well.
And the last name...
I'm more or less losing my voice here, I feel. What's the matter, Mr. Suto?
It's just so strange. So unexpected. Oh, what's this, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. The last name is J. Wilson. What?
Wilson.
John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy? It says only J. Wilson. I'm afraid I cannot be sure. Then, of the 4 names, it reads, if translated from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message, or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris.
Yeah, she doesn't know about her father, but her father is unfortunately murdered from the first chapter. I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is the communications of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susaruno came from. Oh, well... No, it's not very likely really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with a surname Wilson. There must be a lot of J's among them.
Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. We can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. Because he is unfortunately no more. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today, I feel like we have rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave.
I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside.
more or less too late. Two people with the thought of the whole, about the 4 names are dead. One was trying to get the disc at all cost, and one we don't know about. Honk.
Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon.
Yes, it seems so.
I shall sail on to the steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change to a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan. You're really going then, Susie?
We wish you a safe passage, Miss Asuto.
Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best.
Mrs. Sato, I hoped you had always at my side to guide me and support me.
Miss Naruto,
Please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best juridical assistant in the world.
I'm quite sure I will be back before you know it. Really, Susie? Oh. Now don't forget, Iris, I made you a promise that I have yet to fulfill. A promise? About your manuscript.
Oh, yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
I will be waiting for you then, Susie. Promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Miss Naruto,
Yes?
you remember the first time we met?
Yes, of course. The SS Buria, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Susato takedown. Jesus.
You know very well that I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we in that case, it somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy.
Mrs. Sato.
And my instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then.
I really want to quit soon. I'm getting knackered. I want some supper. Oh, cutscene! We have a cutscene! I think. Oh yeah, it is a cutscene.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
I already have the second. It is
Looking
in this
back
game.
now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey.
Oh, the cat is also after us.
Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Apparently he had that one prepared.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world.
Yeah, I like this. This was a good end of the stream. I do love though that most of these games has one game, one story, and then they can do another game with another story. But this story is literally cut into 2. This story is cut into 2 games. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruto. Yes, Mr. Holmes. I have some rather awkward news. Sorry. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh?
Because such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations.
But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I'll explain everything and how it was all your fault. Excuse the fucking what? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But don't worry, my dear fellow. According to Mrs. Sato.
You love defending yourself in court.
Excuse moi, please.
It's alright. I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like he's that sort of man would do.
Oh my goodness, God gracious, what are you doing, people? Mr. Sholmes? Yes. A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly. Any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, I love Runo's words. I just love the one he'll use here.
Oh, that's why. They're waiting for it.
Objection!
Because that's how they're supposed to end the game. So yeah, I do hope you like this this playthrough of the first game. We still have the second, which will come next week. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I do hope they actually do remakes of the other games. Because I do understand they made a remake of this game just because this was a, like, Japan-only game. But I really would love if they could make the other games as well. Because I really do enjoy these. These games are really good streaming games, and I've been like streaming as many of these as I can, to be honest. But yeah, I am getting a bit knackered, so I am gonna get some supper and prepare for bed, I guess. So yeah, thank you for Hakotori. Hold on, I'm so bad at pronouncing that name sometimes. Hakotori. Sometimes I also say Hakatori. But Hakotori for just passing by a bit. Thank you for Yoko for being a little, I don't know, goat gremlin sniping bots here in the background. And for Drana Cute Thulu to just pass by as well in the beginning of the stream. And thank you all for other reviews as well for being here, Turtle Girl and Gani. There might be some other people, but they never showed up in chat, so I cannot really thank them as that. As always, that's nice to have you people here. Making this little kingdom of ours actually to just slowly grow. Because sure, I'm the one that more or less rules the kingdom, but I cannot make it grow without you people. I just love how I'm more or less making, just because I have the name Southern Lord and stuff, a Lord of South. I literally just using a lot of stuff like that. For example, just kingdoms and stuff. I don't know why, but it's kind of fun. But yes, I don't know what I will be playing on Thursday and Saturdays. I have gotten some games, so I might just check through what I have and find something good. Who knows? But yeah, time for sleep, time for supper. So I'm just gonna say good day or good night. See you all next time. Bye. Also. Yeah, exactly. So it is our kingdom. It's not just mine. I'm the one overseeing it, but it's we building it.